Spring beekeeping, successes and failures shown. I equalized these colonies 2 weeks ago when there were 30-degree nights. Now it's time to go in and see if I killed brood or I helped all of them grow exponentially. She just laid all the way to the bottom of the frames here. Have the queen right in this area. There's almost no bees, but there's so much brood compared to the amount of bees. This frame is completely full of mostly eggs and larvae and a little bit of capped brood at the top, but the other opposite side is pretty barren. There's a little bit of nectar and honey on here, but not much else. This hive tried to supersede their queen last fall. It didn't, but they tried to. A little bit of nectar, pollen, honey. This frame has eggs, a little capped brood, and then this side has some dead brood on it. So I would think that when I equalized into this colony, maybe I didn't do it perfectly. So they might have lost a little brood from it. It's full of capped brood, larvae. And then you can see I wasn't able to shake in enough bees 3 weeks ago when I equalized, so we lost some brood here at the bottom of the frame. And there's the queen, who I thought was marked, but I guess she's not. So this frame has got more brood on it. So the equalizing, I've done it many times, but it didn't really work out all that well in this hive. They haven't really grown in the last 3 weeks. This hive looks really light to me. There's a lot of pollen here, but I think that they need sugar water, so I'll come back tomorrow and feed them. Frame's full of nectar, full of pollen. This is definitely my largest colony, probably, a full 10 frames of bees. There she is. There's also eggs and nectar all over this frame too. There she is, laying up a storm. They're just kind of light on food, so they're going to need some help in that department. This frame's full of capped brood, drones. They're even filling in a little nectar in the middle, but we're only going to get one more day of flying weather for the next 5 days, so I'm going to go ahead and probably still add sugar syrup. But this is a prime example. If I didn't equalize this hive and pull brood from it like I'm going to today, they would definitely swarm. So speaking of swarm cells, they got these swarm cells right here on the bottom of the frame, but there's nothing in them. So I guess you just call them cups. Frame's completely full, both sides, eggs, larvae, capped brood. This is a perfect frame to equalize. Ideally, it would have a little bit of less brood because then it's easier for the donor hive to keep warm. Right here in this part of the frame, the bees are just starting to emerge, so it makes it the perfect frame to add to a colony to help them boost up. It doesn't take a lot of work, and so it'll really make it a lot easier for them to expand. Queen's right in here, so we're not going to take her to the other hive on accident. And I'm going to shake another frame of bees into the place where the frame of brood's going as well. So shake this frame of bees. This frame has larvae on it. Even the frame in the 9th slot has eggs and larvae all over it, both sides. So I'm pretty impressed. So this hive had a little chalkbrood the last time I came in, but here's some honey they have on the outside. They had a lot of honey last time too. So this is the second frame of brood. First one was full of brood. This one's also, 80-90% full. But there's a little bit of chalkbrood, unfortunately, so I can't really equalize out of this hive into another. There's our little chalkbrood queen. For whatever reason, this hive has had chalkbrood for a while. Another completely full frame of brood with just a little bit of chalkbrood on it. But this hive probably already has 4 or 5 frames of brood, and they maybe have 6 total. So this hive has eaten, a lot of honey in the last 3 weeks. Maybe 2 frames. So this hive badly needs honey. This is almost all they have, just a little bit more. So definitely going to be feeding them as well. So we got some nectar here. Looks pretty good. I equalized from this hive 3 weeks ago, so I'm glad I did, because they'd be relatively close to swarming if I hadn't. This hive just started to draw comb here in this lower half, and the queen started to fill it with eggs. And then this half is full of nectar. Look at this queen. Wow. That side isn't as nice, but wow. Frames full of eggs and capped brood. Just more and more brood. Really healthy looking. So here's a bunch of larvae in this portion of the frame right here, and then emerging brood above. So I'm probably going to equalize using this frame. So I took that one frame of brood in and added it. And then I'm going to shake some more frames that have some bees, more bees than this, into the other hive as well, to make sure the brood doesn't get chilled. Give them this open side to lay into for the queen. I'd say this hive is right on pace.
Now that you've seen me slow down swarming by swapping frames, check out this video right here, where all you have to do is add a box to slow down swarming.